you are in charge, politically, of Cornwall's 104 county farms, many thousands of badgers on those farms.
Yeah.
Is it not time there was a public debate about whether they should be culled or not?
I think public debate is difficult when you're talking about the farms, because those farms are all tenants and they have a tenancy, and the tenancy agreement wouldn't allow us, as they're written at the moment, to dictate whether or not badgers are culled on their land. That doesn't mean to say that if we were to have a discussion, and it is something that we need to look at having the discussion, that we couldn't influence the future. But you can't, if you've got a tenancy agreement and it's for X number of years, your landlord, which is what we are, can't come along and say, well, actually, you thought you had these rights and now you haven't. So in terms of the present day, we would have to work within the tenancy agreements. We could work to provide information to the people farming on those farms, but we couldn't dictate outside the tenancy agreement.
Okay, so there's a legal process issue that has to be addressed. But politically, as a local authority, Cornwall Council can express a view as to whether badger culling should be encouraged or discouraged. Why not have that debate?
I'm very much about evidence, and it is in the last administration. The issue wasn't relevant because culling wasn't happening in Cornwall. I'm aware that it has now, and North Cornwall is within the zone, and so. But it was at the stage of the last administration that the last administration didn't pick it up. It will be something that I need to put on our processes of picking up. So it will be a discussion that we need to have. But as I say, in terms of current tenancy agreements,
Yes,
we will have to involve the tenants in those discussions.
You can't dictate to the tenants right now.
No.
But there's no reason why there couldn't be a resolution coming before the next full council meeting saying this council approves or disapproves.
Obviously, if it came before the council meeting, that would be for 123 councillors to debate. And I think you will be aware that whilst probably amongst the general public, the bias is to love the cuddly badger and not want to shoot them, probably if you had a room full of farmers, there might be a bias the other way, because TB is serious in cattle.
But that's the reason why perhaps the decision should not be left to your tenant farmers, and that you need a wider constituency to express a view and make the policy.
I think, being devil's advocate, if you set a different set of rules for some farmers who are on council farms to other farmers in Cornwall nationally, that could be said to be putting our farmers at a disadvantage who are tenants of us. It doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't encourage looking at the evidence, and I'm very much a person, and people will find that of me, I like to look at the evidence, and so I think there is no harm in us, through our processes, look at the evidence and encourage our farmers to look at the evidence and consider the evidence.
Indeed, but as you know, different landowners do take different views. The National Trust bans badger culling on its land, and its farmers don't appear to be particularly disadvantaged. The Duchy of Cornwall takes a different view. It's a bit odd that Cornwall Council, as a major agricultural landowner, doesn't even have a point of view.
But that will be addressed. As I said, it wasn't relevant. Then when it was relevant, it was towards the end of the last administration. It will be something that I will be taking forward for us to look at through our processes.
So you will be bringing something forward to council?
Not necessarily to full council. We've got an overview and scrutiny committee. I think that might be the first place to look at it in a small committee. It might then move on and be looked at in full council. But I would also want to look at the farms panel, because I think also, because if we work with the evidence and with people on our who have got tenancies on our farms, then they might come to their own conclusions, which are based on evidence rather than gut feeling.